Hey, this is gonna be the last. Hey guys, Rohan Lal Effects here. We're gonna be just tape reading the last 30 minutes of the market close here on Friday, February 27th. Today was a little bit of a trickier day due to the large range move that we had during the London session. The AM session was a little bit trickier, as we can see a lot of back and forth price action here on the M15. Going down onto the M5, we see, right, 10 a.m. power of 3 did not really provide us many opportunities. Um, it was very choppy in here. Now we're getting a nice push higher here around that 3 p.m. time interval. If you look at that H4 2 p.m. candle, we didn't really get a raid here on the previous H4 low. Same thing here with ES and YM. If we look at the ES here on the M1, really just choppy price action up until the 3 p.m. time marker. Once that 3 p.m. time marker hit, we see the low resistance liquidity run that came after we have been in the high resistance liquidity run conditions. If you look at the Nasdaq, pretty much the exact same thing right now. We're pulling back inside these quadrant levels are going to be the RTH gap here. So if you look at the regular trading hours time period and we go into the M15, this shaded area is going to be our closing price and the opening price of the RTH gap, and we see price trading inside of that range. Send this to the back, and then the initial entry that I did see today was trading it was trading a reversal of the initial opening trend. So initially here at 9:30 in the morning during the equities open, we had a sell stop liquidity right below the swing low. I did see this inversion get ran through, right? Price comes up initially, manipulates buy side above here. We trade above the 8:30 a.m. opening price, and then we see price trade through the first presented fair value gap here at 932, a large range gap. We see price create a swing low, a higher high. Then we see price break through, raid sell side liquidity. Right, initially because we were in a deep discount and we were also trading inside of an H4 inefficiency on this H4 time frame. We look at the left side of the chart, right? We have sell side delivery and buy side delivery in the same range. Price trades back into that level here. These are what my two blue lines are. It's going to be that H4 BISI. We see price raid the sell side liquidity, and then we also see price close above the sell side liquidity, indicating that this is not a continuation and we could see a reversal here, right? So candle closures are very important. And also we were trading inside of the H4 BISI as well, and then we see the price expand. We do not get a closure above the IFVG here. On this candle we get a manipulation lower tapping into the bullish order block, and then we see the full closure above this fair value gap. This is my first indication of taking a long setup here. If you look at the ES during the same time period, we see ES manipulate a little bit lower than the Nasdaq, and then we see price trade back higher. We inverse this gap right here, and then we start consolidating, leading to the expansion. As of right now, we're seeing price trade back to equilibrium of the current daily range from this low to this high. We're trading into the discounted price range, right? And could have traded that inverse, right? Rated buy side, inversion, back to equilibrium of the range because we were in that deep premium, almost reached the 25% quadrant of the RTH gap. Price kind of struggled around equilibrium, but this was the main entry, and so the entry was on the closure above the SIBI / inversion for value gap here at 945. We then see the market trade back higher. We then see the market trade back lower into a redelivered rebalance inefficiency. Once our redelivered rebalance inefficiency has been traded into, we see the market trade higher. We have a reclaimed buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, right? So This buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency was traded through. We then traded back through it and we found support off of it, and we also created another fair value gap inside of that same range. This is indicating that this area is going to be a strong area of support, and I do not want to see a candle body closure through that range, which we did not get. If we look at the resting buy side, we had buy side above the equilibrium level of the RTH gap, and then we had the buy stop order liquidity resting above the 7:22 a.m. high, which gets purged here at 10:24. If we extend this fair value gap here from the left side of the chart, we can see once the market raised that buy side, we go into kind of a seek and destroy mode, like till like from 11 a.m. to 12. The macro actually got us out of that seek and destroy little move. So initially we saw this 5-minute gap get inversed. So I saw that 5-minute gap get inversed, right? So now we have nested PD arrays. So we have a nested 5-minute inefficiency resting inside of a 1-minute bullish inefficiency. This is indicating that this is a balanced price range. We see price tap into that level once. We then get the displacement to take out the buy side liquidity. Once that buy side liquidity is purged, we get a larger displacement lower, taking out sell side, so taking out all of these relative equal lows down here. Nice low resistance liquidity run. After that low resistance liquidity run, we return back to equilibrium of the range, trade into a premium. We're able to short up here again. We get a displacement lower towards the sell side. We then get manipulation higher, taking out buy side. So buy side liquidity gets purged right here at 2:06 p.m. We then see the market displace lower. We have the 2 p.m. opening price here. I'm going to remove that. We then start consolidating inside of this range, right? We start consolidating inside of this fair value gap here on the left side of the curve of this market maker sell model. We see the bodies. This body stayed above, but the rest of the body is actually staying below this level and below the M1 inefficiency that we had here as well. So prices are staying below the M1 inefficiency and this inefficiency from the left side of the chart. We then get a sell side liquidity raid, a market structure shift here, a inversion for value gap with the volume imbalance included in the range. We see that displacement above this short-term swing high. We then created a fair value gap here. We see the body actually close below it, but then we see the next candle trade higher on a closing basis, indicating that these two candles are now a bullish order block. So we can measure the range of this order block, and we can see the mean threshold acting as a support level for price. This is also inside of another redistributed, rebalanced inefficiency. Price trades into the rebalanced, redelivered inefficiency. We create another inefficiency. We raid the resting buy set above here. We then see price trade back into a fair value gap, and we get a bullish expansion towards the buy stop order liquidity resting above the swing high that was created. Once that swing high got purged, we created a fair value gap which gets inversed here. We then see the retest of this fair value gap, making this down close candle a bearish breaker block. Price trades through the bearish breaker. We see the expansion as price leaves the breaker, and then we see price trading back down now. We're starting to see some accumulation inside of an equilibrium price level. So we see the 618 level getting respected here. If price wants to inverse this gap here, I'm going to be looking for a long setup. So I'm going to be using this as my entry because we're at 1 equilibrium of the RTH gap. 1, 2, we're traded into a discounted price range. 3, we're accumulating inside of a 1 minute inefficiency. So price came back down, rebalanced the inefficiency, and now we got a candle closure above. Next thing I want to see is price, the willingness of price to stay above this level. So if price is able to stay above this level on a closing basis, I'm going to be looking to enter this trade with 3 micros. My invalidation level is going to be a closure below this down close candle. So this is going to be my invalidation level for this trade, or my stop loss. And then we see we got that candle closure. I'm looking for a retest of the entry. I'm looking for a retest of this inversion. If we get a retest, then I'm going to be looking to execute. Okay, not looking to execute right now, just because of how bearish this candle is. We completely engulfed the candle that broke through the inversion for value gap. We're seeing that candle come back into the inversion. We actually have two inversions. We have a smaller one in here as well. We're retesting the 50% level, and we're also retesting this inefficiency plus volume imbalance. And we can see price actually moving lower here now aggressively. So this is my trade thesis invalidated. So I'm not going to be looking to execute a trade right now. I'm just looking about where is the drawn liquidity. We're inside of a 15-minute gap. I want to grade this gap. The H1 looks bearish. The H4 looks bearish. M15. This M5 looks bearish as well. We have sell side liquidity resting below here. That could act as a potential draw on liquidity. We're displacing through inefficiencies. If price wants to trade below this gap, then that is when I'm going to be looking for a short to the sell side liquidity down here. If we find support off this 1 minute order block, we could look for a re-entry long here, but I want to see first the invalidation of that SIBI. I want to see the invalidation of this SIBI right here. That price was unable to get above on the first try. If we get a second try to target that SIBI, then I'm going to be looking to target entry. For an entry, maybe target the resting buy side above here. If we do get that, I'm only going to be looking to enter a trade 3 micros, just because we're up 2,700 for the day. I'm just going to be playing around with the profits, and because I have a little bit more drawdown, I can take another risk on another setup if it provides me the opportunity. But right now I want to see price trade above the inversion. I want to see price trade above this down close candle, and then use that as support to then push price higher. I want to see price trade above this bullish order block, and then use that level as a support. If we can get those confluences, then I feel confident entering this trade, just because one, we traded in the 618 respecting the bullish inefficiency, we disrespected a bearish inefficiency, and we traded above this down close candle. If those things occur, then I'm going to be looking to execute a position with the 3 micros. My invalidation is going to be price trading down here. It's going to be my invalidation level for the trade. So let's see, we have 3 minutes left for the macro to start. Today was a little bit more trickier. If you guys are new to these concepts, I would just taken the day off, just because you guys are going to tilt in trading this. Like, trading this back and forth is just so difficult. And you take so much patience to wait for the macro, because you keep thinking that price is going to break the range, and because it never breaks the range, right, we just keep making these higher lows, right? And then once price breaks the higher lows, we take, right, sell stops are now rated. Price is now able and permitted to trade higher, because we were respecting that 1 minute BISI. Price did not need to raid the sell side this time, right? We were just engineering more liquidity as price rated the buy stops. So let's see, 2 minutes until the macro. We're getting some nice displacement. We got a nice lower, created a lower low here on this price structure. We're still respecting that 1 minute BISI here, which I do like. I want to see whether price can trade above that. I'm gonna get rid of the gray shaded boxes. This messing up my chart here. It's looking like we're gonna get a closure above. This candle did not fully close above the bearish inefficiency, so I'm waiting for a full closure above. Right, we have 30 seconds for this candle to close. The invalidation is still going to be this low, and I'm going to enter this trade here just because we got that full closure above now. I need to see this down close candle acting as support. I need to see these two down close candles acting as support. My invalidation is going to be a closure below this down close candle. I'm going to measure the mean threshold. I do not want to see price trade below that. And there's the 12:50 a.m. Volatility. Let's see. This is beautiful. Beautiful. Let's see if price wants to run the buy stops above. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Right? Look at the precision of the mean threshold. Right here, I'm going to move my stop up to the low. I don't care if this stops me out here. That was a beautiful price delivery. Let's see. It's a lower risk on this trade, but I'm already up in profits, so I'm just playing around with profits, getting more experience. So let's see. Break even is going to be a closure above this high. If not, then I want to see price stay above. We could get stopped out here. Redistributed, rebalance, inefficiency. Need that to hold as well. Need that bearish inefficiency to hold. We could just chop here, but that candle was very beautiful. We're trading this setup with 3 micros. Not big leverage. We're already up on the day. I do not want to give back any significant profits, and for that reason we're lowering the leverage. Let's see a bullish expansion here. I want to see those down close candles acting as support. We could just get nothing here and we just chop. If it just chops and it hits 4 p.m., I'm just gonna close it. Just because, right, we already had that massive move in the power hour, and I don't expect price to take out that target. We could just chop around in here for a little bit. Looks like my stop might be hit. Never mind. I need to see displacement out of this range. This is what I want to see. I want to see this displacement out of this range. So what that H4 candle looks like now. So let's see. I'm going break even if we break through this high. This when break even stops are coming into play. I'm going to take a partial. Above here. Okay, partial hit. Now I move stops to break even. Let's see. Let's see. Beautiful price expansion right now. Let's see if the buy stops want to get purged here. We already took a partial on this trade, so I'm comfortable with my stop loss just below the candle low. Obviously, if price wants to come down, take the stop, that's completely fine with me. But I'm hoping this buy side gets purged. It would be a nice way to end off the week. Market on close orders are going to be coming in here pretty soon. I'm going to take another partial right here and then move my stop and then keep the one. I want to see this for value gap hold. This is why I place my stop below. Let's see. I don't like this closure. We did trade above this civvy, which I want to see act as support. Looks like we're going to get stopped out on the remaining position, which is completely fine. This is beautiful. Look at the lows of these candles, right? Relatively equal. And now we're going to see the take profit get hit. I'm going to place my stop below this candle. And the take profit is about to be hit, guys. So pretty good trade here. I'm pretty confident in this take profit getting hit as well. Take profit should be hit in this next candle. I'm placing my stop a little bit higher below this down close candle. The market on close order should be coming in 30 seconds. And there is take profit, guys, hit. Beautiful delivery, beautiful trade. In a funded account. This is just a beautiful delivery. Thank you guys so much for watching. Great way to end off the week. Make sure you guys join the free Discord in the description below. If you guys want to take trades with me and get the same analysis that I'm using to take these type of trades. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a great weekend.